My Gavanan Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Araka Galaderathan, the head of Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as Khazad-dûm. The dwarves of Khazad-dûm, to be precise. We have got something very important to do this episode, and that is get Balin back to Kazad Dum, because I totally forgot about his script. So, these orcs need to die. How are we going to kill them is the question. We're going to have to just attack them, because I'd like Balin to get back sharpish, and I'm going to take Lord Balin in his place.
Honor, my lord.
So, to war! And a glorious day! Captain Malkur has 3 units of wargs, 2 units of skirmishing wargs, and 1 unit of warg riders, and then 2 units of absolute filth. So we should easily be able to walk over him and attack. Now, what news have I got for you in the modding scene? Well, we're fixing quite a few black textures of settlements that are being reported by our testers. We have also had some big developments on the campaign AI. And currently we're having a situation... I'm drinking, sorry everyone, I've just taken a sip of a drink, do forgive me. Currently we have a situation whereby the evil nations are growing in audacity. They are attacking far more than they did before. Full stop, that's the whole sentence. Isengard are currently dominating Rohan, Harad are crossing the river far more often, and Rune are turning into the unstoppable late-game Mordor that they always should have been. And it's causing us a little bit of balancing problems, so we're going a little bit of balancing to suggest this. However, we're not... Oh, why am I doing that? Just start. We're not doing too much balancing, because the only place that we'd really like... the only change we'd like to see is we would like Rohan to hold on a bit longer. Excuse me, sorry. At the moment, they are not holding on too well. And we'd like them to hold on. So, we need to balance Rohan and Isengard a little bit, but I'm not too fussed about Harad being a bit more aggressive on their side of the Anduin, and I'm not bothered about Rune being the powerhouse of the East. That doesn't concern me one jot. But there's a little bit of balancing that we have to do. Oh, the enemy has decided to close in... start throwing their javelins at us. Right, well, let's counter that. Everybody, take a nice wide formation for me, please. We are going to lose numbers, there's no way around that, but we need to get Balin back. But we can't chase those skirmishers down, so it's best to just let them do their firing and then we'll run after them after that. They've moved over there. So we've got a little bit of balancing to do. We're fixing those black textures, as I've already said. And... oh, idiots. They just charged their cavalry.
Our men are winning the battle.
Our pikemen.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
It's all over already,
The enemy general lies dead. Let the crows have his miserable bones.
They're running
and
away.
Let our swords have his men.
Keep it at ×6. Let's zoom in and see what we've got here. They're all running away. And can we get the last ones to run away? Oh, they came back.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Jammy buggers. Other than that, we don't really have any modding to do. We're still just waiting on 1.1, but Orcscrape has identified the problem, and he will begin testing that for us. So hopefully, we have some fixes there. There's also been a few extra additions, such as... this isn't a feature that I even realised was a problem. Apparently it is.
The victory we have won here today.
Golden Sword goes to 150 Dwarven Sentries, no surprises. Apparently, some... I don't understand. I'm not entirely sure I'm sold on this idea. I think it should have been... if a player wants to be that aggressive, then there's an excellent way of beating Umbar. But as playing as Dol Amroth, you can put all of your starting forces into a ship, sail to Umbar, and beat them. You can do it. You can beat them basically straight off the bat because your beginning forces are infinitely better than Umbar's. However, a script has been cooked up between Hummingbird and Orcscrape that directly counters that ability. You can no longer do that. They've made it so that if you try and do that, you'll be met with a full banner army of Umbar that spawns now in Umbar to stop that very thing happening. But I had no idea that that thing was even a problem. I was unaware that it was an issue that we were having. So I'm not sure that I'm that sold on it, to be honest. But there we are. So there's a little script now that at the beginning of the game, Umbar just get a stack of troops to stop anyone sailing down and eradicating them. But I think I'd like it that they'd be able to be eradicated. It gets rid of the Umbar Corsair raids early on. And it stretches you so thin that it's a massive gamble. It's a gamble in of itself. I don't think there needs to be a script added to stop you being able to do it. I don't know. Spoon feeding too much. I think we should let a bit more freedom in there, but there we are. End the turn. So there's a script that does that now, but the Enid script has been fiddled around with and moved about a bit and fixed in a way. Oh, I didn't turn off. Oh, I've got to do that. I've got to do that quickly. Otherwise you'll get people chatting to me. I always turn it off. Why is Byrig just... They bribed it, didn't they? They've just bribed Byrig back. The filthy wildmen. You haven't got any money. Where are you getting money to bribe my cities from me? You dirty, dirty, dirty people. And you haven't put anyone in it, though. 2 shakes, everyone. Don't look, don't look, don't look. Don't take my name. Don't add me as a friend. I'll only reject it anyway. I am sorry, but if you want to, that's what the Steam group is for. I do reject the friend requests.
Aye. Closing in the enemy.
Right, well that was easy. There's a free 1,500 we've just gained. As we don't have a general yet, I would like Balin to head back up. The rest of you head to Byrig.
Onward.
Oh, well, you can get a little bit of retraining going, actually. Gnarly, are you on your way? Lord Balin, no, you're not. You are passing by. I bet they attack you, the dirty buggers. Okay, with our 1,500, we've retrained all of our units. And we can even train 2 extra units. What's our free upkeep? I forget every time. 2, 6, and that's it. 2, 4. This side has more, doesn't it? This side, because it's got one of these, gives free upkeep. Yeah, 1 from that, 2 from that. And does it have a... At the minute it's got 6 as well, but it can go up to 7. What should we build? You're building mithril mines, but you're not yet. And you're building actual mines. Yeah, we're waiting to get the mines. Good, good, good. That 1,500 extra income boost was pretty swing then. Very useful indeed. But we are stalled somewhat as we wait for our money to return. At the moment we don't have much. Do we have anything else modding going on? I don't think we do, I'm afraid. That's it. We are just waiting for 1.1 to be released. Also, thank you to everyone that did vote for us in the 2015 Modding Awards. I'm unsure as yet of the outcome. I think they close on the 28th, so you can still vote if you haven't already. You just need to go to Total War Center, click on Forums, click on the Modding Awards, and then vote, vote, vote for whoever you wish. So, thank you to those who have voted for us so far.
An honor, my lord. Marching now.
Oh, the Orcs have come. Oh, yes, I'll take those. So, I'll tell you what I will do then, if we're going to take those. Oh, no, but look, that's a solid army as it is. Ideally, we want those to be archers. We've got 2 turns till we can get more archers. Ah, well, that side doesn't need as many, does it?
Lord.
So.
Aye. Forward. Aye, sire. March.
So you go over there.
Joining our forces.
Gives that 6. That can have what now? 1 more? 2 for mine. Yeah, you take one of them.
My king.
You 3
Onward.
head south.
Aye, my liege.
Aye.
Head to Byrig.
We march no further.
Aye,
Or if I could get you to Lord Blind quicker, that would be very useful. How long until we can build that? What does it need? 6,960. We're going to earn 6,490, so not there yet.
Aye, my king.
You've just got us map information with Enid Wife. Of course. Did we ally with them? Just app in map information? No, just map information. Did I pay them for that? Am I losing money because of this? No. Good, good, good.
Of course.
Head up to Mythalond.
I must stop here, sir.
In other totally unrelated news, I had an interview today for a law firm near where I live. Very, very well-respected law firm, and it seems incredibly positive that I might get the job. In fact, I've got back from the interview about 2 hours ago, and I'm more nervous now than I was when I went in, because it now seems very, very likely that I'm going to get it, and I can finally say that I'm a bloody solicitor. Well, I'm not. I'll be a paralegal, but nevertheless, it's starting me off on a path. I'm very excited. I had to mention it at least once, so I have done. Anywho, the Orcs of the Misty Mountains have attacked us. Oh, and the Lord of the Galathrim has passed the successful invasion. Cadas Galathon has fallen to Mordor. Oh, goodness gracious, it's windy outside. Crime and Netleys! It's the closest thing England gets to a hurricane. The trees are actually moving in the wind.
Aye, sire.
An honor, my lord.
Oh, that's Very insensitive. We have like no natural disasters here. It is such a simple place to live.
Marching now. Bringing the men together.
Possibly why we've had a rather stable history, I suppose. We don't have anything that gets in the way of it. No hurricanes, no earthquakes, no great waves. We get a little bit of flooding, but nothing that nothing really major. I can appreciate that if you are one of those people that lives in, say, the Lake District and experienced some of the flooding that we've had over the past few years, and it probably is major to you, but it's not the same as your entire house being swept away in a torrent, or falling into a gap in the earth, or even crushing your family to death. So even the minor flooding we do get, you can still consider yourselves very lucky. Oh, will you just stop attacking us so that we can get...
Orders. March!
An honor, my
so we
lord.
can get,
My king. In your name.
Mithril Mines. Oh, that's a unit extra. Why is that a unit extra? What did I not take away? I needed to take them away. Curses. End the turn. We move on Londarthoran. I swear there was another modding change I was going to discuss, but I just can't remember it. No, it's gone. Boo. Oh, Hummingbird has made Isengard weaker on the auto-resolve calculation, and he's taken away their starting pike unit. What does Captain Malthak have? Nothing to threaten us again. So Isengard start with a pike unit in their initial army, and that's been taken away in an attempt to counter their incredible strength that they're experiencing at the moment. But additionally, Dorwinion have also lost their Avari Elder Pike army, and it's been replaced with a lesser unit of Avari, I believe. So lots of things going on. But here we are once again. Welcome back to Western Khazad-dûm. We seem to spend our lives. Archers! 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 Oh, we'll have one of you on each side, I think. No, we won't do that. Always use these people because they are expendable. You two at the back. Grab your weapons! That's everyone. Start the battle. Okay, so Dwarven Warriors. Warriors! Dwarven Warriors. Let's get you standing on that invisible stretch of land just there. And you gentlemen. Go there for me, please. The question is, who do we think will fall first? I think these ones are likely to be attacked quicker, so stand just behind them. Okay, archers. Now, I could stand you in a 3 like that. Yeah, go on. Speed it up. Zoom it in. And we wait. Oh, yeah, let's move you a bit more. You're blocking all those people that try and run away.
Curses! The enemy are battering down our gates.
Ah! Curses! Here they come. The hordes of Misty Mountains. Goblins, orcs, foul breed, crossbreed.
To arms, my lord!
Defile us all.
The enemy's ram has breached the gates.
In they come.
The enemy have the walls. Look to our defence or all is lost.
Although all we're seeing at the moment is a dust cloud. They have arrived. Their first line meets our line. Warg Riders go up against a shield wall. Always going to be a catastrophe for them. Our pikes stand firm on the right. And our archers begin peppering the back. And within instant engagement, 3% of the foul breed have already fallen. Although they are going to pepper our units with javelins, which is a shame. We will always take
Our
kills
men are
from
winning
javelins,
the
sadly.
battle. If we continue like this,
Take
we
losses.
will smash the enemy.
Alright, gentlemen, as expected, they are going to be overrunning this side, so you can move up. But the javelin wargs have got involved as well, which is foolish, because now they can't throw their javelins. What are we on? 10% of them have died, and we've so far lost 4 units that matter. 5 units that matter.
Good tidings. The enemy
Oh dear,
general
their enemy
lies
general is
dead.
now dead.
We have sent the car to hell.
It's not going well for them. More archers is always the key to winning these battles. And the perfect hill, the gradient on this hill is perfectly placed to allow them all to shoot straight in lines. which is very useful. It's the most lethal that they can be. Oh, do bear with me one moment. I'm receiving a call. 2 shakes. Oh, which is the pause button. Very frustrating. Oh, crying out loud. So many cold callers. When do they get hold of your mobile phone? I am still of the mind that if my mobile phone is ringing, I normally need to pick it up. So for it to ring and then no one to be on the other side, there to be complete silence, it is of course cold callers. Surely this is some sort of invasion of my privilege that they have my number. Oh, there's some men of Ruidauer in there. Traitors. Traitor! Keep firing into their lines. Who has not joined in? Arguably the best anti-dwarf unit they've got has decided to stay at the back. Oh, we're outside the mountain. Oh, we're outside the mountain still. I tell you what I like most about this game over later titles is the impactful nature of archers. Archers have a real deadly impact in this game. Now, I've never modded any of their later games, but certainly in Shogun and definitely in Rome, archers are useless, in my humble opinion. They just don't feel like they do any damage. And I don't know if that's how it historically really actually was. Like maybe games have given us a misrepresentation of how strong archers used to be. But I feel like Med 2, the base game, Third Age, the vanilla game, and then DaC, they give archers a real weight. Now, I appreciate that elven archers have been skewed to be way too overpowering. And that's just because this is in a fantasy game. But even in the base game, I do feel like archers are still a really useful unit. And I just don't feel like in Shogun or Rome there's not much point to getting them. They don't seem to save battles or do much damage. 10% of our number has fallen. Our dwarven warriors are fighting in a little sea of freedom there. Let's move up and support them. Our dwarven sentries over here are fighting. Take them off of defensive mode and they'll all start getting involved. There you go. And we're sending in support here very, very slowly.
Our men are winning the battle.
Creeping across the
If we
bridge.
continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Stand ready. First lines of the Orcs fall as the slow oncoming death arrives. The thud of the dwarven feet can be heard resonating around the great antechamber. Oh, this is just a chamber, isn't it? An antechamber is a small chamber that comes off of a main chamber in a cavern or mining system. This is not an antechamber, this is a chamber. Anywho, the dwarves are doing very well. And we've just arrived in time to... No, they're dead. There's only 3 left, and they're likely to die. Archers, are you still getting involved? Ah, some of you have fired all your arrows. 50% of the enemy has died, and we've paid for it with just shy of 20% of
Only
our own.
half the enemy force remains.
We haven't got too much else that we can support, I suppose. We've got those warriors, actually, standing in the wings, haven't we?
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Their animation does not like the fact that dwarves are small. Goblin band taking some fire from the dwarven arrows. Now, the dwarves using crossbows is entirely an invention of fan fiction. Tolkien never suggested the dwarves use crossbows. I mean, it can be inferred from some of the passages within it, but the word crossbow itself doesn't directly translate to them. And if he ever mentions the dwarves using archery, they always use normal archery. They use bows and arrows. There's nothing weird about a dwarf using a bow and arrow. It's just because in this mythology it hammers home so much that the elves are the gods of archers, and that dwarves and elves are so anti one another that you kind of sets your mind up to think that the dwarves wouldn't use bows and that only the elves would. Whereas in truth they would both use bows. And even so, the image of the dwarf is always a sturdy dwarf in heavy armor with a big two-handed axe, and it's actually almost. It's very arguable to suggest, not arguable, we know the Sindar, the Grey Elves of Beleriand, their chosen weapon of choice was the axe. And so if anything, and from what we know of the dwarves of the Hobbit, the dwarves are not, don't shy away from using swords at all. So if anything, the image really is the dwarves using swords and the elves using axes. So lots of different ways of looking at all of the armies. I think we're coming to the end. The Snaga are beginning to run away. The pikemen are trying to poke them to the ground. Let them run! You have mountain orc hunters to deal with. Turn and face! Dwarves! Where's Orn Habub when you need it? Ugh. Poke! Spears down! Meet their lines. Oh dear, they're falling already. Now these guys are really high attack. As I say, every time they ever get involved in battle. They're quite a little niche unit in that they can't take much punishment, but they do a lot of damage. So they're really good at breaking the morale of enemy units. They're an excellent shock unit, which means you should use them to charge the flanks or the rear. You shouldn't use them as mainline units because they die too quickly. But they can kill a lot of enemy units if you use them correctly, with their high base attack anyway, and then added onto that is armor piercing. And that was always the intention when I added them. The Orcs are surviving, but they won't do for much longer if we run some units down. Let's speed this up. No, I didn't want you to go that way. I want you to go this way. I want you to come in at the side. The mere presence of these units should start them routing. Yes, there we go. Right, archers, now you can pull out because you'll just die, but the sentries won't. I want you to come right to the other side so that you push through them. There we are. Now let's pikes down and start killing those ones around.
Very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Now the animation does give them a bonus. They keep the enemy at bay. That's how the pike works. That's why the pike is so over the top. But the game does compensate it by allowing the hitbox of pike units to extend quite far out. So even though the unit will be striking, it will actually be miles away from the unit, it still counts as a hit. But because the pike animation is quick and repeatedly knocks the enemy back, that's the stun lock effect. The enemy can kill pikemen quite easily. It's just the pikes may keep the enemy at bay themselves. It's not necessarily that the enemy can't reach the pikes, they can reach them. But the pike's animation is that much faster that they're constantly being prodded back. Which is why, and now that we've gotten involved, there's still hardly any deaths on our side, and about 20 of them have fallen. So pikes are an excellent unit at holding a gap, but they don't actually do that much damage. And as they start to get tired, then they start to die. They're not invincible. As you can see, we are starting to lose numbers now that very tired is becoming the trait.
The battle is
so now we need to send in support
favor.
Before too many die.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Oh, that was a good view, actually. Get them in the back there, get them in the back there. There we are, they're wavering, they're wavering. They have very good morale as well, Mountain Orc Hunters. But they should break any moment now. And it's all over. 155 dwarves paid the ultimate price.
Of only the mightiest of generals.
Oh, well, thank you very much. 1,697 of Captain Malthak's horde fell at the hands of the dwarves. The Zenith Guard didn't kill a single unit, neither did the Dwarven Volunteers. But the Golden Sword, or the Golden Axe for the dwarves, goes to one of the Dwarven Sentries units. He killed a clear 70 more than his compadre, but the Dwarven Travellers were 282, 256 and 243. The archers taken as a whole were the most destructive force, but then we did have 3 units of archers, so it is to be expected. And a solid victory for the dwarves means that Balin can finally return to the east.
Victory!
When the turn ends. Oh, the orcs have come round on the eastern side as well. It's just a never-ending defence, really, isn't it? Never-ending defence of Khazad-dûm.
Aye, my liege.
Balin, go and get in that fort. Retrain. How did they lose men? They weren't even involved in the fighting.
Aye.
I'm not going to bother retraining them. I'm going to send them
Move
south
out.
as well.
Aye, sire. Combining the army.
Marching now.
Aye, lord.
You might be bribed.
March
Very
our
strong
limit.
chance you're going to be bribed, but it doesn't matter. Our armies stand prepared on either side. Should the orcs decide to assault the fort that has Balin in, we have troops standing by ready to rush out to his aid. But once again, the beginning of the Kazad Dum campaign is a lot of end turns. This time, though, we'll be able to expand beyond that. We'll be able to push out, take the mountains back.
I'm gonna stick you
But we do need to end the turn again. Unfortunately. Khazad-dûm and Khazad-dûm West. Oh, there's Glorfindel. Defending the lands of Imladris that extend all the way south to the ruins of Ost in Ethir, town of the elves. He is attacking the fort, the cheeky
The
bugger.
enemy lays siege.
We're going to have to rally out. Balin must survive.
My king.
Although Balin might survive
Move out.
on his own anyway. What has he actually
Taste
got?
of my blade.
Not very much. I don't think we'd even need the support of the
Aye,
others.
noble sire.
Although if we send the support of the others, they'll probably run away.
Leading the
They
men
didn't
with
run away.
honor, sire.
Fascinating. Muzher, he's got 40 quite high ranked mountain orc hunters. Good ranking on the goblins. Good ranking on everything really, actually. Experience is quite high. That's why it's so skewed in favour. Experience is a huge changer in combat. A massive combat modifier. It affects more visible things, like their attack is increased. But it also affects more hidden things, such as their morale. And that's the big one. They'll survive and they fight for much longer. We've got everything that we need to do, but I will save this campaign there, and that will start next week's episode off. So I do hope that you've enjoyed watching. Thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. Stay tuned tomorrow for Stainless Steel, and then Heroes of Might and Magic 5 on Sunday, before we go into next week and back round. Next week's video will either be a Heroes one or possibly another Soulstorm Titanium Wars one, the Sunday after this Sunday coming. And then eventually we'll do another Age of Empires one, because Dazui, one of the people in the group, has sent me some Age of Empires files, some maps, some games, matches. They don't actually have me in, but they apparently are amazing, and I should be doing them, so we might do those, but it'll be sometime in the future. But that is pretty much it for now, so thank you very much for watching, and until we speak again, dearest friends, Navar Naden Perimat Melunin, and farewell.